Hello everyone! Today, a bit of a different video. First of all, camera's here. It's quite nice. And second of all, I'm not making a rules video, but more of a deck video. The deck's not that great, but I've played with it at a regional. And normally at a regional, your goal is to, play to your outs, play to your best of your ability. And the issue that I have is that I'm not really good at this game. Second, even worse, is I don't have enough time to actually play this game to the point where I know all the decks. So I thought to myself, why not just do something else? Why not, challenge not me or my opponent? Well, I'll try, but why not challenge the judges? So that's what I set out to. I grabbed a deck that has the most intricate rules questions, card interactions that there are. At that point, it was back in OPO 8, and tried to build a deck that could force these kinds of situations where judges would have a little bit of a challenge answering them. So, first of all, you're seeing this deck already, right? I'm playing Green Purple Dofi. I think it's also a very fun deck to play. Unfortunately, not that great, not that strong. However, I did go 4-6 with it. Even made top 512, I'll tell you. But of course, I did lose a lot of games, especially like Lucci's. Just don't.
Let's not talk about that.
But there are many shenanigans you can perform with this deck, and that's why the deck list feels so weird, right? You would see some cards in this deck that you rather not actually want to see in a Green Purple Dofi deck, or absolutely useless besides just weird funny questions. So I'll just go quickly over the cards that I chose to play just based on the meta perspective, which didn't really matter too much. And then we just go over the actual interactions that I try to force, which some I actually got to do. What you can see here, it basically is like a green Bonnie deck, right? It has the Hody Jones, it has the Doflamingo, it has the Ronor Zoro, just to finish, finish out games that you could try to control as much as you can. For some blockers during the mid game, also, keeping hand in control from your opponent. And the rest is just search engines and counter events to get to that point of finishing the game. So what did I add to the deck that actually got me these interesting situations? Let's go into the most easy one first. There is Birdcage. Well, Birdcage is one of my most favorite cards in the game, especially when the card got released. I really wanted to play Green Purple Dofi. Unfortunately, it wasn't the best deck in the meta, or one of a good, at least, or not even a good deck. But it was fun, right? I really like in Magic the Gathering, you have this stacks kind of effect where you're really trying to make it so your opponent can technically play the game, though whatever they'll do, there's nothing much they can do. But there's this Doflamingo card, right? There's this Birdcage, and I'll pop it up on the screen, I guess. There's some cards that have this interesting interaction with it. Because the thing is, it's mostly about that all the characters with a cost of 5 or less will not become active during both players' refresh phase, right? So, take for example that I faced even there was the Black Luffy, the starter deck 14, and then question regarding his ability to buff cost of a character. So the situation is as follows. I had a Birdcage on the field. The opponent has a 5 cost on the field, attacks with it, or it's rested somehow, and Luffy had a Dawn given to him, the leader. So the question became, during his refresh step, is that 5 cost still a 5 cost or an actual 6 cost? Because the big difference here is that if it was 6 cost, of course, it would become active. So I just called the judge. Because I actually had this one happen, fortunately. It is difficult in a sense that it requires knowledge that is not really needed for the game. The only knowledge that you truly need is knowing how the refresh phase goes. Right? Because, normally it's refresh, draw, Dawn phases. But the refresh itself, like what happens first, is the Dawn being put back into the cost area first? Or are all the cards being set as active first before, putting the Dawn back to the cost area? The answer is, in the comprehensive rules, the Dawn first moves back to the cost area and then is set as active. Judge call was correct as well. And so we just moved on playing, actually won that game. One of my 4 wins. So I'm happy about that. Next, we have this one. We have Pica. This is why we actually play Pica in the deck, because for the rest it's not a great card, right? It has been errata, by the way, just so you know. It says you may instead rest up to one of your other 3 costs. No, you have to rest one of your 3 costs or less. It is not up to. That's been errata. Anyways, the question is, I have a Pica on the field. I have a Rocinante on the field. And I have a 3 cost or higher. Let's just say, for example, an active Diamante on the field. All of them are active. My opponent tries to KO Pica and my Diamante. Say, for example, a Lucci that could do that. Almost got that, by the way, in the games as well, but never got to that point because Lucci destroys things too fast. Pica can then rest the Diamante, but then the question becomes, can Rocinante, protect the Diamante? If you have watched my videos about replacement effect and effect timing, the answer is actually there. But however, it was never truly answered in a Q&A or in a comprehensive rules. Because in the comprehensive rule, there is a section about multiple replacement effects, meaning their activation timing. However, it's really convoluted. If you want to know more about it, just check the replacement effect video. There are timestamps as well for it. However, the answer is yes. Rocinante can now save the newly rested Diamante, which was interesting, right? So let's move on to the third and final situation that tried to force, but it was probably never going to happen. I just had it there to show it to the judges more because it has to do with Black Maria. I think you've been wondering why this card is in here. So have I. It's a card that's not really... It doesn't do anything for the deck. It's just there. But the interesting part is this. This is an activate main ability, right? It's an activate effect that gives you Dawn. And then at the end of turn, you move your Dawn back to your Dawn deck. So there could be this situation where you have Black Maria and a Diamante on the field. The Diamante is rested, but his condition is if you have 2 or more active Dawn, right? The question would be, if I activate Black Maria and I move to my end step, which happens first, the activate effect of Black Maria or the auto effect of Diamante? This could be relevant if there's any form of, for example, a game state where there's only 2 Dawn left on my opponent's field. I have 1 Dawn given to my Diamante. 2 Dawn on the field at that point never really happens. But you never know, right? And Black Maria wants to activate and resolve. If that means I have to go back to 2, I would only have 1 Dawn under Diamante and only 1 Dawn to be able to be set as active with my leader effect. So that's my question. What happens first? Activate effect, auto effect. Which has priority? Because it's not stated in the rules which effect has priority. There's 8132, which I just happen to know off my head. Or otherwise I'll just put down in the video what the actual rule is. That there's a priority system regarding permanent effects, replacement effects, and auto effects, but nothing about activate main. So the question got answered to Bandai, and they responded with that you can choose which happens first. So it is actually seen as some sort of auto effect, at least at the same time, for this kind of effect interaction, card interaction. So yes, I actually really enjoyed playing the regional. It was my first time actually playing in a regional instead of judging, and the players were all great. A lot of them were actually interested in what kind of weird stuff I was up to. If you've played against me, hi, it was great fun playing against you as well. And I hope to actually be able to play more in a regional. However, I do really like judging them as well. And I think that is my forte still. Maybe I should just play more. I really should play more. Maybe someday. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video or enjoyed whatever I did, please like and subscribe. I normally don't really make deck videos. I more go into like rules and dive deep into like the nitty-gritty of it. If you want, you can check my videos out on my channel. And thank you so much for watching till the end. I'm The Flying Judgment, and thank you for watching.